What is up, my guys, and welcome back to the channel known as Azure. As always, I'm your most endearing host, Daniel, followed almost as always by one of my co-hosts,
Julian.
And today, we're coming back at it again, we got Eddie. Go ahead, introduce yourself, Eddie. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Hey guys, I'm Eddie. Nice to meet you guys.
So yeah, go. You want to introduce our topic today? Well, I mean, they already read the title, so go ahead if you want.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yes.
Okay, well, we're talking about Gravity Falls. I recently just finished it on Hulu, all both seasons, and we're here because I want to talk about it. I got questions, and Daniel and Julian both.
Well, we have some answers, not everything, but
Yeah.
well, we don't know what your questions are. So either way, but before we get started, as always, gotta get rid of that YouTuber BS out of the way. If you like it, you know what you know what to do. You got questions, you already know what to do. You got corrections. I don't really care if you want to say them or not. But yeah, as always, links to everything we have, Insta, Twitch, and Discord will be in the description below, along with Eddie's TikTok and whatever else he feels like sharing with us. All right, let's get into Gravity Falls. What did you think of the show, Eddie?
I say it was a masterpiece, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I felt like they kept it short enough where it didn't go through the whole Game of Thrones, development.
Yeah, the whole it ran so long that it kind of like lost its little flavoring or something like that.
I think it's called like the horse, like
Oh yeah, the horse meme picture, something like that.
Beating a dead horse.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not that. I think wait, it could be that, but I'm thinking
milking a cow, isn't that part of it too?
yeah, over milking a cow too.
No, yeah, I mean cash grab, but
Yeah.
they didn't cash grab it. It's just like they wanted to make something meaningful, something like kids would enjoy, kids and
Mhm.
adults. Because I'm also an adult now, so it's kind of like I enjoyed it at this age. The reason I didn't give it a shot earlier because I thought it was for kids, and look at me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here talking about it.
You feel like an idiot sandwich now.
I'm an idiot sandwich.
Are you just make me edit that fucking Gordon Ramsay picture in this video?
That's up to you, man.
Okay, fine. Either way, but yeah, Gravity Falls, interesting show. If you guys haven't seen it, shame on you, really, because it's actually a pretty good show. Honestly, it's probably one of the best shows that came out of this decade. I know Julian and now Eddie would agree with me. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, there's not that much competition, especially like during the early 2010s, because of how like Cartoon Network fucked over animation people. But even in the second half, Gravity Falls still beats a lot of those shows, and part of the reason is just the art style itself is like different from how a lot of the other shows do it, and also the pacing and the way things work are very like different. I'd say it's almost like an X-Files for kids, or like the mystery aspect of like Twin Peaks, kind of, where it's like you're kind of wondering what happens in the next episode, just the mystery itself during that episode, but also the overarching mystery for like the last season and the finale.
Oh yeah, because that's all credit due to the creator Alex Hirsch and how he described in interviews like, oh yeah, as a kid I've always wanted to like solve mysteries and everything like that. Every time there was something playing on the TV, I would record it then on a tape because he had a VHS tape, and then he would play it back to see if there's any hidden messages or anything like that. So it really goes to show like if he had this idea of wanting to solve a mystery like this, so I guess he created a show that's going to solve mysteries. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Quick rundown of the show real quick. It follows the show follows two kids, a set of twins named Dipper and Mabel Pines, going all the way from California to Gravity Falls, Oregon, to stay with their uncle Grunkle Stan, Uncle Grunkle, their Grunkle great uncle. Going off on a tangent right now, either way, but they stay over at his place because it's summer vacation and they got nothing else to do. So they stay there at the Mystery Shack, which is basically his house, but also a tourist trap. I can't really say what a tourist trap is per se because I haven't really been to one, but can you guys explain what a tourist trap is?
It's Hollywood.
Yeah, in a sense, just like let's convince foreigners that don't know how the culture of the actual state, country, or city we're in to get into this thing that nobody within the actual city cares about or would ever go to.
It's kind of like people fly in to spend their money, so they just like set up something where people could just waste their money on.
It's
at the end.
It's an example of like, here's a hole in the wall that everyone goes to. The food costs $20. Now here's this scam that everyone talks about in like the YouTube videos. It costs $100 to eat there, right? Where like the $20 one is better, cheaper, and everyone who actually is in the know goes there. But since that's not in like the popular media, you won't see it unless you're like have connections within that city or like do your research.
Okay, All right, so yeah, Grunkle Stan runs a tourist trap called the Mystery Shack. As I think I mentioned that before. If not, well then there you go. It's called the Mystery Shack. So yeah, so that happens. But the thing is, the twist is that while everything in the Mystery Shack is fake, everything outside of it, the forest around it, it's all real. Like there's all mythical demons, monsters, unicorns, gnomes apparently, because gnomes are a thing, and other stuff too. So yeah, Dipper finds a journal that is really documenting everything that happened in Gravity Falls. It's the third in a set of three, and everyone's dismissing him at every time. Like literally, every time he brings something up, they're like, "No, you're just a kid. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what's actually happening. This is all in your head." And so yeah.
I mean, he's only 12, so.
No, that's why. Like, you don't really expect a 12-year-old to know exactly what's going on. So, the fact that you have this 12-year-old boy and his sister solving mysteries is like, and people are still denying the fact that it's true. I mean, it's for comedic effect, but it's also like, yeah, sometimes you can take kids seriously, and they'll be right sometimes.
I mean, it's explained in the show later on why they don't believe it. Like, the organization would erase their minds, and then as the show progresses, Dipper's taken more seriously. Like, there's that episode where Pacifica invites her over to the mansion to get rid of a ghost, because now they know that Dipper's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like from episode 1 where he first brought up the stuff to Grunkle Stan, Grunkle Stan dismissed him and everything. Same thing with the police. Same thing with all that. Because like in episode 1 he dismissed it by Grunkle Stan, but in episode 3 with the mannequins that came to life and everything, everyone dismissed him and the police did that too until he gave them proof that the mannequins were actually alive, and it made the cops spit up their coffee and everything like that. The whole comedic scene, they burned their face and everything like that, had me dying for a second. But yeah, now we come to season 2, the episode you're talking about, where Pacifica asks Dipper to get rid of a curse that's on her house, and everyone takes him seriously because, well, he's already proved himself. It's a whole progressionless thing like that. That's what the whole story. That's his whole story arc. He goes from one person to overreacting and to like making it seem like no one should really believe him, to proving that everyone can believe him and should trust him what he's trying to say. That's really what I'm getting at, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's talk about the characters now that I got on the subject of that. Who is your favorite character? Because you mentioned
Mabel.
Yep, there you go.
Waddles.
Okay, what about Mabel actually gets to you? Because I know Julian was like not really the biggest Mabel fan. So when you told me Mabel was your favorite character and when you wanted to do a video, I knew Julian was gonna have some opinion on this. So go ahead, explain why you think Mabel is your favorite character.
Mabel's the most real 12-year-old girl there could be in a series. Like, she's just a child. She acts her age. She doesn't try to, how do I say it? I want to say she doesn't really let anything get to her. Later on in series, things do because character development. But how do I say it? But yeah, I mean, like, Mabel's like the most. I want to say the word I want to say is relatable, since I'm a boy.
Realistic,
but I wouldn't
intriguing.
She's just comedic humor. She's enjoyable. It's hard to like hate her. She's only put her in the whole show. She's only put herself in some dire situations, but that's towards the end, and that's because it's reaching a climax. Like it's part of plot. So
yeah. Any comments, Julian? Any rebuttals or anything like that?
One thing I'll say is Waddles is a great character, and I do agree with that. He's always one of the highlights of the shows.
Of course, Waddles the pig is one of the best characters in the show. But back to the whole Mabel thing.
That man has not said a single word besides in one episode, and he stole my heart.
So was it with Mabel? It's so the positive for her, it's that she's very realistic to what like a 12-year-old girl would be like. Now the one negative for her too, that's a big one, is she's a realistic 12-year-old girl. So the thing is that
you're right.
It's that like, so she is like oh, she doesn't care, but as shown in like a lot of the season 2 episodes, it's that she just doesn't express it, and then it kind of turns into a problem, or she doesn't really know how to communicate like her worries that much. But it's one of those things that makes her bright and positive, and why people like her. And a good example is that's why Dipper and her really complement each other, because Dipper is the kind of guy who's just like doesn't know when to be reserved, and he's kind of always kind of like a smug guy about it, like a smug smartass for him believing something's right. Yeah. And so that kind of, even when people like know that he's right about everything, kind of puts them off a little, being like, come on, Dipper, like you're a bit too sure of yourself. Like it's like, oh, why don't people like come on, here's all this evidence, and it's like that's not enough Dipper, which is why like Mabel's acting show is able to kind of get him to be
more
like
humility, like a humility base or something like that, make him a bit more humble in a sense.
Yeah, in that sense of just like he's able to kind of look at the bigger picture.
See, Dipper doesn't act like his age. That's his issue.
Yeah.
He's 12, but he's trying to be what? Like he's trying to, he wants to be with Wendy.
Yeah, he's trying to be like an 18-year-old or a 15-year-old.
He's trying to
like
be
that.
an adult. It's like, yo, you're such a young age. You don't want to grow up so fast. Like that's why I hate the character. Like, yo, you don't like as someone who's older. I'm like, yo, enjoy your age. Quit trying to like carry the world on your shoulders. Like, chill out.
And they actually go into that a bit in the whole mini mart episode where they visit an abandoned mini mart, and Dipper. Well, I was gonna say David. Dipper says that he's 13 because that's what he's trying to be. He's trying to be a teenager and everything like that. But by the end of the episode, he admits he's 12, and he knows that it's good to be a kid because that's literally what saved him and his friends from being like killed by the ghost. I mean, he was 12, doing a little kid dance, and that was it. And at that point, it showed like they were okay with him being 12 because later on, Wendy actually made up a whole fake story saying how he beat the ghost and everything, and say like, yeah, man, be a kid. It's a fucking kid. You're allowed to act your own age. So yeah.
Yeah. So what makes that work too is that it is very realistic because a lot of people that age and like boys at that age would be like, oh, I want to grow up, but there'll be the guys who will be like, they play like the GTAs and stuff and the Call of Duties and
they're
all
the kids that would take
games.
a shirtless pic and they'll like post it singing like they're hot shit. I'm like, okay, you're 12, like chill out, skin and bones.
Yeah. So that's why it works though, is that like that is something he would do, and it's also like that example of the gifted child of like. When a lot of teachers and people like that will be like, this kid who's able to do something that someone's older is gifted. He's wise beyond his years. Like, Dipper's probably the kind of guy that would hear stuff like that. And it could be the kind of case that would get to his head, right? So that would make sense as that's how he would act. And he has to get humbled by, like, Grunkle Stan's brother to, like, kind of understand that it's like, oh, no, he has a long ways to go to being as good as that guy.
I feel like he got humbled at the Minotaur episode, to be honest.
That's
like,
true.
He's like, oh, there's no point being a man at this age. Like, he's more of a man being a child.
No, I wouldn't say that's the case. I'd say, like, because in that episode, he tries to prove himself to be a man by doing overtly manly things, but I think he ends up learning that you can be a man in your own right. You don't really have to follow, like, oh, the big, strong, hairy, tough guy type thing. Yeah, those stereotypes of typical manhood, which, albeit, those do prove that you're a man, but they only go so far to say you're a man. Because the real hunch of that episode, the true man, means that you stand up for what you believe in, and you don't take shit from anyone. That's literally what Grunkle Stan said.
Yeah,
albeit not verbatim what he said.
Yeah, one thing I'd say too is the reason why is once Grunkle Stan's brother, which I remember his name, but
Ford.
Yeah, Ford. So once Ford like comes in place, it's like Dipper can finally really relate to someone, and he gets like that mentor figure, which also kind of helps him like even out a little. And it's like finally someone who like I can talk to that won't just like ignore me and act like I'm talking crazy.
Someone that will actually indulge in my ideas and my harebrained schemes and everything like that. Because throughout the series, Mabel and Stan have really just been going at it together because with the twin set being Stanford and Stanley, Mabel and Dipper, Stan and Mabel are basically the same, one and the same, while Dipper and Ford are basically one and the same. It's like that. So that's the whole dynamic with them. You have Stan, who knows what it's like to have a sibling who's way smarter than him, who tries to act like more superior and everything like that. And in his own weird way, he's trying to show Dipper like, dude, chill the fuck out. You're a kid, enjoy it. You're not the smartest person in the world. And you don't have to be. Just relax and be normal for a second. But the way Stan brings it out is like he's trying to be a little Dipper in a sense. Like he's trying to say like, no, shut the fuck up and just stop. And you're wrong. Like all that stuff. Would you say it comes off kind of like that?
Yeah, it's kind of funny too with how we're talking about all these kid characters, because I've seen that a lot in the animes and stuff. Whenever there's like a kid character where people will have kind of like a fight between their preferences of like, do I want a realistic one or one that's more mature but not as realistic? And like it's kind of interesting to see that, because like it's like that's just in any kind of show or format. It just like it's like, what do you want in the character that's like a personal preference? Because just because one's more realistic doesn't mean it's always like better writing in that sense.
Yeah, you could have a hyper realistic character, but that still won't mean shit if they're not written properly in a sense. Which goes to show like how the show actually does it well. Like these characters are realistic, but not too much so where you're like, oh my god, I know exactly who that person is in real life, but they're just complete shit in real life. They're made so like they're relatable, and like but they're written in a way where yeah, you can see anyone being like that.
Can we talk about Mabel's friends?
Sure.
Both of them are just
I want to say which one do you guys like better, like between Grenda or what's her name?
the one
Candy.
the one
I
with
like
the glasses.
Yeah, Candy's better.
Candy.
Yeah, let's
Candy.
go with
No,
that.
I like Grenda. Grenda's way better.
Oh my god, Brenda.
Grenda is just.
Yeah, Grenda is.
I actually do
She's
like
the most
Grenda, yeah.
underrated character in the show. Like she shined more than Candy just because like she needed the development. Where Candy was just weird.
No, that's why I like Candy because she's a fucking weirdo. Like weirdos are gonna attract.
She made you uncomfortable. She made everyone uncomfortable. And it was cute. It was adorable.
Yeah, she has no social awareness in a sense. That's why, because if you go back to the first time during the whole party episode where Grunkle Stan throws a party to bring in some more customers for the Mystery Shack, you see she's introduced with having forks on her fingers, saying improvement of the human body and fucking stabbing popcorn and eating it like that. All right, that's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. And then you see Grenda with a fucking lizard on her shoulder and feeding it.
I love Grenda when she like the DDD thing they did, the dungeons
and more dungeons.
Yeah, that like she got picked up a whole like lazy boy as her weapon and just the big guy took down instantly. I was like, bro, Grenda.
She and Grunkle Stan took down 2 ogres that are basically twice her size. Mind you that she's tall for her age too. She's what, like maybe 5'5" for a 12-year-old. I don't know if that's actually tall for her age or not.
She gives me, that Shrek character was like Unibrow and like the mole. Like she gives me that character.
Wait, who?
vibe.
Oh, I feel like I know who you're talking about.
No,
Which
say it.
It's that Shrek character.
Yeah,
like
I know.
A female.
This evil stepsister. That's what you're talking about.
The evil stepsister.
One of the evil stepsisters. Yeah. So yeah, that's what you're talking about. But yeah, Grenda's a pretty good character. I still say Candy's better for me because I like Candy a bit more, not in any weird kind of way, but like she's a funnier character than Grenda. That's really what I look for with these side characters. Like, are they more entertaining? Are they less entertaining? And so on and so forth. Speaking of characters that we like, though, y'all can't hate on Seuss. I have not met one person who hates Seuss, and that is a fucking amazing.
I don't like him because he has. I don't know how do I say it. Like, he reminds me of a coworker I used to have.
You hate Seuss? Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of my chat!
Yeah,
get the
with
fuck
Seuss,
out of no.
Seuss thinks he knows what he's doing, but he doesn't.
No. Here's the thing: he does not know what he's doing. He literally states almost every time, like, "Oh yeah, I'm just fucking around. I don't know what I'm doing," and he literally just goes with the flow and everything like that. Like the whole thing.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, see, like that, and like so get the fuck out of this video. Get out.
Yeah, with Seuss, it's like what's it called? Is that he has a lot of the best episodes, and that's another reason why you can't really. I mean, you can't hate him, but it's a little harder because like he has the one with like all the pixel art. He has the one where he gets a fake girlfriend, and like those are like one of the really famous episodes, and he's like a really big central focus of it, which makes it people like him for all the more for that reason alone.
Exactly.
Zeus got my respect when what's it called? Like you found out his backstory. I'm like,
exactly.
Aw.
Seuss went from being just this laughable side character who ended up being one of the main characters now. And then you figure out his backstory where you find out his dad abandoned him, basically. He sends him postcards that mean fuck all and never actually visited him on his birthday, even though he said he would. And then you see how much different Mabel can go through it, because in that episode they go time travel, they go back, they fight Blendin Blandin, and they do a whole bunch of fucking shit to get him a time wish that could grant him anything he wants, thinking that he'd want to see his dad, but no.
Infinite pizza.
Yeah, infinite pizza and they make Dipper and Mabel feel better, in a sense, which is the best. Honestly, yeah, infinite pizza would be the best, but no.
So who's your favorite side character? So not Wendy, not the friends. So like the town folks.
Okay. Now that's interesting.
I got one right now.
Go for
I already
it.
know which one it is.
Go for it.
It's Get Him.
Toby.
No, not Toby. It's Get Him.
Yeah.
The mayor, like the new mayor.
Oh
his name's
the
Toby.
one who's just get him. Yeah, that guy.
His name's Toby.
Get Him. It's not a Toby. I thought Toby was the one that no one liked.
No.
Like.
You're talking about Gideon.
No. I'm talking about the ugly face guy.
No. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
That's Toby. Toby's the ugly face guy.
I'm talking about Tyler. Yeah. My bad. I got the two T's mixed up. It's more like get him, like that. So yeah. Okay, that just brings up a whole weird theory that
Toby's just ugly. I don't like Toby.
Yeah, Toby's a journalist. That's why I don't trust him. But yeah, the whole thing with Tyler brings up a completely messed up theory I found. I think you might know this one, Julian, where like everyone thinks that Tyler is Wendy's mom in a sense. Like, what the fuck? What the actual
I don't
fuck?
believe that.
Yeah, this is the theories can get kind of crazy. So that'll be near the end of the video. We'll just say all the crazy ones.
Mm-hmm. Jesus
So
Christ.
you guys gotta state one.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah. Who's your favorite side character, Julian?
Well, okay, so when we count side, do you mean just like minor that never get their own episode, or
Basically, yeah.
No. I'm saying like town folks, like they reappear in it mostly every episode.
Well,
but
like,
like,
a few-
but like
they
they're
get
not
a few
like
lines of
focused
dialogue.
ever, right?
Yeah, no. No.
They're not. They don't really have a focus story.
They're not Stan. They're not Ford. They're not Seuss, Dipper, Mabel, Wendy, Grenda, Candy, or anybody like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. It's what about the time guy? Was it like
Blandon?
Yeah, I think so. Like the one who's always
Yeah.
like, "Yo, you can't mess it up with time, man." And it's like he's always like,
that's Blandon.
yeah, I always liked him because it's just like he's always like so pathetic.
Isn't that Morty's voice?
Yeah, that's Morty's. That's
Yeah.
Mr. Meeseeks. That's fucking Lemon Grab from Adventure Time. Yeah, that dude.
I hate that guy.
You hate him.
Yeah, he was annoying.
Yeah, that's why I like him though. He's so pathetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he tries.
He's like this authority figure that no one respects.
He tries in the end. That's why I give him respect for. But yeah, no, he's kind of like just.
He's the reason that Bill Cipher like shows up, anyways.
Well, I mean, we never really found out why Bill Cipher showed up. Speaking of Bill Cipher, he was this transdimensional being.
Wait, you didn't pick yours.
I know. I'm gonna give a quick rundown of Bill Cipher first, and I'll say my favorite side character. Alright. So yeah, Bill Cipher is basically a transdimensional pyramid-shaped Mr. Peanut and everything like that being, who was all about chaos and everything like that.
He's the Illuminati.
Yeah, basically he's the Illuminati sign combined with Mr. Peanut. That's literally what the creator Alex Hirsch said he was. So yeah, he's like the ultimate evil, the big bad guy, the whole shebang in the fucking series finale and everything like that. So yeah, that's Bill Cipher. Oh yeah, my favorite side character. Well, I have two actually. It's the two cops, the Lubs and Derlin. Those
That's
two.
a good pick.
Is it because they're gay or is it just
No, because they're hilarious. I don't give a shit if they're
Okay.
gay or not. They're fucking hilarious, and every time they're in the scene, I always end up laughing when they're in. Like literally the fucking coffee scene I mentioned in the third episode of the mannequin one. That shit still gets me laughing every time I see it. Like,
But you never said who your favorite character is actually.
That's why I said Seuss because fuck.
Oh, you did.
people
Oh,
who
you
hate
did.
Seuss.
Okay, you did say Sue specifically. Okay, so I guess I'll
I
say.
said- Yeah, because
Okay,
Seuss is
so-
one of my main favorite characters. Yeah, anything I'll probably put Ford up, maybe on top of it because I like Ford just like
Yeah.
that.
Ford's really good. Yeah, I guess the one I'll give that's well, it's not really dark horse. Like, people like her a
I
lot
think
too.
Ford's
but-
just boring.
Okay,
Wow,
that's
that's
fine. We'll get to
definitely
we'll get to that
interesting.
later.
Yeah,
We'll get to that
that's
later.
But what is it? It's no, one of my favorites is actually still like Pacifica because of the development she gets over just like 4 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and those are always
I
like
feel
a
like if I
nice
had money-
progression
Yeah,
for
I feel like
that.
if I had money, I would.
yeah, because Pacifica went from a bratty shit to I think she was hot shit when she wasn't, and she bought all her friends and everything like that, to going to the mini golf episode where you figure out like, yeah, I could have real friends. I don't have to be a raging bitch all the time and everything like that. To the whole mansion episode where, yep, these guys are my friends. I can stick by them. I can stand up for them. They'll do the same for me. And then even though there's still a bit of regression towards Weird Mageddon Part 2, where she's like, still says, no, screw you, Mabel, and everything like that, she still reluctantly like accepts her sweater gift, goes in the circle and everything like that. So yeah, it's progress, a little bit of backdraft, and more progress at the end.
Yeah, well,
So,
because
yeah.
it's also just like she was able to open up about the issues and like, especially in like that episode with the ghost, where it's just like very like lays bare like everything and like the history of a lot of stuff too. So that's also why her like family background has a lot of intrigue due to.
Yeah, because I think I'll probably explain this right now. Like in that episode, you see there's a little scene where they're in a room of portraits, and you see all her family members being like showing that they're good businessmen, making good deals with people and everything like that. But later on in the episode, we find out the truth behind the portraits were they're shady people. They made shady deals, lied, broke deals and everything like that just to get what they wanted. And you see her actually seeing this and like how she's fucking depressed about what her family name actually represents and everything like that. Is that what you mean, Julian?
Yeah, the whole idea, which is like also how Dipper like is able to like bring her back up to like not being all sad and stuff, is able to like Like
I thought Dipper and her were gonna get together.
I think everyone assumes
Yeah.
that. Like it's one of those things where it's like it's gonna happen, but Alex Hirsch knows that if he like ever outwardly stated that, everyone would just lose their like shit. So he's like, little hints and stuff, but nothing too like crazy.
Yeah, he made it clear that like there's sparks between certain characters and everything like that, but he never outright gave them like a whole story arc or episode relating to it, except for Candy and Dipper. They had that, but that was just more so to get rid of some awkwardness between those two characters and to show like you could be a player or a wannabe player or something like that, but you're just gonna end up being a fuckboy and shit like that. That's what the episode is.
Yeah, that's why I actually like Candy. It's that episode.
I thought that wasn't the point of that episode. I felt like if you're trying to be a fuckboy, it's never gonna lead to anywhere happy. So
that's right. That's the basic just what it is. Like you could try to be everything like this, you're not. But if you do it with the wrong person, and they end up catching feelings for you, you're just gonna fuck shit up for everybody else. That's literally what it is. So yeah, that's what it was. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, speaking of characters, I like that too because like if you compare that Wendy episode to the one with like Dipper and Pacifica, it's like you can really see the differences between like the dynamics and how like when Dipper is just like himself, it's like, and like not trying to act all like hot shit.
Cool.
He's able to interact with like people better, which I also really liked about those two episodes in that season specifically, and I remember those like more than a lot of the other episodes in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? It's and that's also getting to Wendy, which is also why I feel like they kind of didn't know what to do with her after Dipper kind of like got over her in that sense of just like it was very wasted potential because the first season is just kind of like, okay, Dipper, like no,
Dipper
stop doing
her.
this.
Yeah,
and then like
he's basically like infatuated. My bad. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm just gonna get this out of the way. It shows like in the first season and like part of season 2, it's like he's completely infatuated with her. Like he does anything he does. He's a simp for her. That's literally what it is. Short term answer, he's a simp. Long term, he's infatuated and does whatever he can to actually be close to her and relate to her and everything like that. What you were saying?
Sorry, well, luckily he's not as bad as Mordecai in his simpness.
Oh,
so
man, yeah.
we'll say that much. I don't know if you've done regular show, but at some point we'll talk about that.
I'm gonna say it right now. I've never seen regular show.
Fuck you! Get the fuck out of here again. Get out. Just get out.
I grew up in an age of a different cartoon era, like before the new Prince.
Dude, you're 3 years older than me, 2 years older than Julian. How did you all grow up in a different age of cartoon era?
I think the last cartoon I saw on Cartoon Network was like The Adventures of Flapjack and Chowder. That was like the last 2 ones, and everything after that it's kind of like Adventure Time, regular show, all that stuff. Did not witness it at all. I was like, you know what, this isn't my era. These are more little kids. I'm like, I have other stuff to do.
I'll say this much: you didn't miss much outside of a regular show and Gravity Falls.
Oh no, there's also the Amazing World of Gumball too.
Yeah, I do like that too. But
I started that recently.
It is a little silly, so I could see at that age he might not have gotten into it. Well, yeah, those two shows during that time.
I'll say this as a longtime Adventure Time fan. I'll say you missed the majority of Adventure Time. I'll admit some of the seasons, some of the episodes of Adventure Time did fall down in terms of like quality and everything like that, but for the most part you did miss out on Adventure Time for a lot.
Oh yeah, and
I mean, I know about it. I've seen like small clips like on the internet, but I don't like it has not like piqued my interest. It's too Gumball, not Gumball like the cartoon, but like it's too like ooey gooey.
Like you don't like the art style or what?
It
just looks like it belongs like on Nick Jr. or something.
Yeah, art style.
I was like, okay.
I mean, it originally started on Nick Jr. That's why. Like, not Nick Jr. It had a short on Nickelodeon for a while, but then Nickelodeon said, "No, fuck you. This show is gonna be garbage." Then Cartoon Network picked it up, and then now we have Adventure Time, and a whole new fan base that will literally shit you down if you talk shit about it. I'm not part of that fan group. I never want to be part of that. Any type of fan group.
Like with Steven Universe, same thing. I was like, oh, this is more about like love, and I was like, I'm not trying to watch cartoons. I'm trying to laugh. I'm not trying to like feel emotion.
You don't want to be part of that fan base either. One thing I'll say actually, because I never went into it during your show, is that I actually do like Ronaldo. Yeah, right, Ronaldo. He's actually one of my favorite characters.
He got married to
I actually really like that.
Oh, you're talking about Merman, though.
Yeah. Oh, and to end the tangent, so we can talk about it. Gravity Falls again is, so regular shows basically is actually perfect for you because it's about just like 20-year-olds like kind of living their lives, and that's like. It's actually better now than when you watched it as a kid, or especially their new show.
Close enough.
Yeah, like that's definitely something. And also back to, we're still talking about Wendy, and so one thing I'll say is that she kind of goes away after the time travel, where like kind of at the end, it's like the two things she does in season 2 I remember fully is she said when they go back in time, she says, "Oh, Dipper, like I really like you or whatever," and he's like, "Okay, this is kind of weird because she's like younger than me." He's like, "Oh no, like."
No, I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna quote this verbatim and everything like that. So the scene set up basically, Dipper and Mabel are walking over to the mystery shack. My bad, I'm starting so much. They're walking back to the mystery shack, trying to fix the time machine. Then they run across Tambry and Wendy on tricycles, and they bump into each other. Wendy whispers into Tambry's ear, and Tambry says like, "Hey, my friend thinks you're cute," and then Dipper's like, "Huh, that's weird. That feels weird because you're super young and everything like that." And Mabel like fucking knocks him on the back, like, "Huh, now you know how she feels," and Dipper goes, "Huh, wow, like that." That was funny. I'll admit that. Yeah, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, and the other part she does is like I think it was like they were in like the ice chamber or whatever, like the really cold area, and then she was like helping out. Other than that, she really does nothing in season 2.
You're talking about the lab that Ford had, like with the whole shapeshifter and everything like that?
I can't say it's like with the gun thing they had, and like they were trying to like take it. It's been a long time since I remember any Wendy scenes. I just remember she was useful in that scene when she's like they're trying to get like the item, and, like she helps out with that.
I think you're talking about. I think you're talking about season 2, episode 2, where they find Ford's old bunker and everything like that. And like she climbs up a tree, she knocks a lever, she fights one of the shapeshifters and everything like that.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
She also helped out in the unicorn ones. Like,
that
like,
too.
Screw this unicorn, speed it up.
Mainly because she wanted to disprove the fact that unicorns actually existed until like Grenda did like the whole bellowing of the fucking.
That was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah, I mean it was good. It was good. It was a good use of her voice and everything like that because she is voiced by a man, and of course that she's gonna come from a fucking deep ass voice, dude.
She reminds me of Lola from Big Mouth.
Oh no! Don't bring that trash up to Gravity Falls.
The one thing I'll say about was a Grunkle stand too is that one of the reasons that that's my favorite scenes because he's on my other favorite characters. Like it's him. Pacifica I think is like 2, and then third is like might be Suze or someone else. Kind of like comes and goes, but. What is it? The reason why I like Grunkle a lot too is because all the scenes where he's just like a normal dude and he's just like watching TV or doing stuff like that. I love those scenes. They're always so funny for me because it's just like,
like the one of this comes into like where Dipper and Mabel are out doing the whole not the mini golf thing. They're just out doing their random shit. No, the mini mart episode. That's what it was. They're out in the mini mart. Grunkle stands literally sitting on the couch watching TV, and a whole bunch of like telenovela stuff for white people come in. And he's like, "Kids, I can't find the remote," and it's starting, and he's like, "Kids," and as the mini mart episode goes on, it comes back to Stan getting invested into the soap opera and everything like that, and by the end he has like this whole rage moment where he throws out the TV just as the kids are coming back, and he's like, "I couldn't find the remote," like that.
Yeah,
that was a bit relatable because I've been in that situation where I couldn't find the remote. I had to watch a show that I thought was hot garbage. I ended up kind of liking it, and then I got invested, and then some shit happened, and I got a little mad for a bit. I didn't get to the point where I threw out my TV because I can't throw out my TV. That's a TV. So yeah, I relate to that part. That was funny too.
Yeah, I like how you called what's it soap operas telenovelas for white people though.
Yeah.
Do we ever know what happened to Duck Detective? Like.
Yeah, we do.
Like, I just know he got shot by his.
He survived. He survived.
Oh yeah, Duck Detective, love that guy.
Yeah, Duck Detective survived. And we finally had a twin brother, and they did a whole fourth wall break and everything like that, because everyone in their mama in the fandom knew that Stan had a twin brother that got lost and would end up coming back and everything like that. So yeah, Duck Detective is fine. He gets to continue his show and everything like that. So yeah. Now, one question though, what character would you change in a way? Like if you had to pick a character, not that's one of the main characters, but like one of the townsfolk. How would you change them and why them specifically?
I would change Wendy's father.
Wendy's
Why?
Father. Yep.
I just feel like you hear Wendy talk about like, oh, my father taught me to do this, or like we did like apocalypse training and stuff. I'm like, why? Like the father never like all he is like a testosterone hairy ass. He's a minotaur basically.
He's a human minotaur because he's a lumberjack.
I wish there would have been more character development for the father. At least a little like Wendy, father daughter time or like a small scene. Because you never see them interact. Like, you see the father, like, interact with his sons or like, just being, like, angry all the time. You never see him, like, interact with his daughter ever in the show.
That is true. Yeah, it's rather. I don't think they've only had like one thing that they've shown together. That was them going camping, and they weren't even talking. Literally, just shows him and the sons, and then Wendy trailing off in the back, something like that. So yeah.
I feel it was more like, okay, Wendy needs a father. Who should we make her the father? Let's make the lumberjack the father. All right, that makes sense.
I don't know. What about you, Julian? One character you would change and why?
I would want more focus on the Mystery Shack in the season 2.
Wait, what?
That's really it. Well, Mystery Shack is his own character, like the location. Like I'd want more of a focus on, like basically like have a few more episodes where they're able to like near the end, but right before like Weird Mageddon, I think is the end.
That's the ending. Weird Mageddon parts 1 through 4.
So like right before it, before parts 1 through 4, there's like 2 or 3 episodes that are just a bit more of a calm before the storm, where everything seems like normal, but you can kind of feel like something's going on. Yeah, like so basically just that, like the character itself of like the town and the Mystery Shack, of like having that false hope rather than just like right after Dipper everything seems good for him, it just goes to shit. I want like a couple episodes where he really does believe like things are gonna go up for him until Mabel's like boom, Wimmergeddon's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how they just missed out on a lot of supernatural, like, how do I say it, like monsters? They didn't do Bigfoot. They hinted so many times at vampires.
Yeah, they did.
There was not a single vampires. And then I thought they weren't gonna do zombies, but it was like the first episode of season 2, like season 1, season 2. So I was like, okay. I was like, cool. They did zombies.
They have their main seasons, and then they have the little shorts. I don't know if you've seen the shorts at all.
I've never seen the shorts.
Yeah, the shorts actually go into detail of some more of the mystery stuff, like the whole hide behind thing, the whole mailbox that could tell the future, the mystery behind Grunkle Stan's tattoo / burn on his shoulder and everything like that. It's a little bit more development and everything like that. But yeah, there's no legitimate vampires or anything like that. I think some of them are more so red herrings in a sense, like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, so you just get to submit to the show. But like, nope, expectation subversion and
like you have Dipper showing off the book and all these like cool pictures of different monsters, and they just never show up.
Yeah. Well, there's also the book itself. There's a book about the books.
Yeah, the whole journal actually came out, and you could buy the journal and everything on Amazon and stuff like that. You could read through it, read Ford's. I bought the journal, so I have it actually. It's on my bookshelf, and I read it cover to cover. It's even Dipper's like little side notes and Ford's the whole epilogue and everything like that. Speaking of which, they revealed his real name in that book. Dipper is not his real name. Did you know that, Eddie?
It's his nickname because of his birthmark.
His birthmark, yeah. The Big Dipper is on his forehead. That's why he combs his hair down a bit so no one can see it. But yeah, his real name is actually Mason. Like that's
I see it.
That's his name. His name is Mason.
I like to think of the numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
That could be it.
Black Ops, I get it.
That could be it. It also like draws to the whole Freemason type organization.
Did they mention that they were from like Los Angeles or?
Yeah, well, they mentioned they were from California, not specifically from Los Angeles.
That's true. I feel like it's in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's another theory people use a lot. I don't know about it if it was within the show, but like the naming of Freemason. Like in a lot of these shows with conspiracies, like it's actually a Freemason experiment gone wrong. Like,
yeah, that's why the whole name draws back into that too, or at least the whole theory is draw back to his real name being Mason. Like, oh my God, his parents were part of the Freemasons. That's why they named him Mason, and Mabel was just surprised. That's why they went with some whack ass name Mabel. So yeah.
Then another like mystery I don't understand is like how was there a barrier around Gravity Falls when Bill wanted to go around the world? He couldn't. It's like it's not explained. Even Ford was like surprised there was a barrier. Like, oh shoot, there's a barrier.
No, they said that he hypothesized that the Gravity Falls is within the weirdness within Gravity Falls is self-contained, and he explains it to Bill like, yeah, I found that out like a while ago, and I hypothesized like what could have caused it. And I even found out a way to bypass the barrier, and that's what Bill tries to get out of Ford for a little while, but ultimately ends up fails. So yeah, that's the whole backstory between the barrier. Like Gravity Falls weirdness is self-contained. The whole weirdness of Gravity Falls is never actually fully explained, but that's part of the bigger mystery. Sorry I interrupted, but go ahead.
Yeah. Do you feel like Bill Cipher's still alive? Because since he's supposed to die when
Stan
gets
his mind erased.
Mind erased, but Stan gets his mind back. So if Stan's mind can come back, does that mean Bill Cipher can come back?
I want to say yes, but I also want to say no because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the ending. But also yes because in one of the little mini comic storylines, it shows that the great god Oxel, I can't pronounce the animal's name. The Oxels, I think that's what it's called. Oxodals, the little fish things that people always like go crazy over that had like the little frills, the pink frills on the inside of their cheeks. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Julian knows what I'm talking about. Either way, I'll probably put a picture up in one of these in the video. Yeah. So one of the great gods called that like say my name backwards and say your wish and I'll grant it for you. And while Bill's quote unquote dying, he mentions his name, he grants his wish, and so yeah, he says he'll never die again. And so who knows? Like, I mean, the statue's still there. He still has his hand out for someone to shake it. So odds are someone could do it. And the fact
Oh, I
is,
didn't notice that.
yeah, the fact is that that statue is actually real in a real location, and people went out to go find that statue. And the people who did, they found a little mystery box inside where like a whole, there's like some fake files and everything like that. But there was like a flash drive or a disc or something like that, and if you play it, then you could hear Grunkle Stan sing "We'll Meet Again Some Sunny Day," that song that Bill sang when he was talking to Ford. So that proves the whole theory, like, oh yeah, Bill might secretly be in Grunkle Stan's mind, just hibernating or something like that. So that's why I kind of say yes, that he's alive, but also no, he's not alive. His mind and spirit might be alive, but his body is still stone. That's literally it.
I mean, he never had a body until like
Until
the
we're
Armageddon.
no, that's why until Weird Again, he never really had a body. But that's why I'm saying like his body now is dead, but his mind and spirit are still somewhere within Grunkle Stan's subconscious, maybe.
So yeah, the other thing to explain with the whole like barrier is a very like classic version of Americana. A good example of that is the idea of like the inside of a mirror or things like that. That takes you to a new land. It's stuff like, you know, Wizard of Oz or like
Narnia.
Alice in Wonderland, Narnia, right? Where it's like, how is it only in there? It's like it just kind of is the case. It's also like real world locations. A
Plot
good example is
convenience.
with South Park. Like it's based off a real town where they're just like, is the craziest stuff happens there in Colorado, and it's only within that city. It's not the entire state of Colorado. Another
You also got
example.
Springfield.
Yeah, another example of that is in Twin Peaks. Like the town of Twin Peaks, like that's the only place that has the corruption and the weirdness to it. It's only 25 years later in the newest like season that like it's kind of leaking out to other areas of like the state or country and other world kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
like
basically like a hyper exaggerated version of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas type scenario thing is what I'm getting at right now. Like it stays there and it just doesn't leave out anywhere.
a
That's
good
literally what happens.
example. A good example is like, you know, the Stephen King thing where there's like the barrier, or the Simpsons movie where like there's the barrier with like the dome glass.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
that, but
Mhm.
it's not physical. It's spiritual.
Yeah, that's literally a quick rundown of what the barrier could actually represent and everything like that. Yeah, in a sense. So yeah.
What's his name? The crazy guy
Old
who
Man
lost
McGucket.
his memories.
Old Man
What was that
McGucket.
one time?
McGucket.
Old Man McGucket. So
Yeah.
like going back to Soul Cipher, like what if the way to bring Bill back is for Stan to remember Bill? Like just like somebody to jog his memory back, because that's how McGucket got his memory back. So I would
Okay.
say in order to bring back, because the way that they brought back Stan is because Mabel showed them the scrapbook, and nowhere in the scrapbook was
No. You gotta give Waddles credit because Waddles.
yeah
gave him
Waddle
that-
yes Waddles
gave him that initial
licked him
jump.
and-
Yep.
yeah.
And he's like, Waddles, or Mabel, get Waddles off of me. They're like, what? It's like, yeah, get Waddles off of me. And they're like, oh my god, you remember Waddles? And
Because
now
we
it
know
shows
the
in
effects of the
scrapbook.
gun isn't permanent. Like
Well,
we've
it's
seen it was
permanent.
like old man McGucket
It's,
get his memory
Yeah.
back by watching a video or something, like refreshing his memory.
it's permanent to an extent, basically. Like, you could cut it out completely, but if there's still something in your subconscious that knows, like, oh, this could trigger your memory to come back in a sense.
Yeah,
With
so
the whole,
I'm saying like
with the whole blind
if
eye
Bill's
picture
like
that got.
mentioned to Stan, then that could be
Mhm.
enough. But yet again, Stan's no longer in Gravity Falls. He's with his brother
Mhm.
overseas, and Zeus takes over the Mystery Shack. I feel like the author purposely makes it like a point that
Yeah.
Gravity Falls will not continue the way it was. If there was a sequel, Stan and Ford will not be present from at least in the beginning. And if Mabel and them return, they'll probably have to return when they're older because their uncles aren't living at the Mystery Shack anymore. Like the reason they were even in Gravity Falls because they had a caretaker and now it's their Grunkle.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it was. So yeah.
Yeah.
Any other theories you guys have out there about Gravity Falls?
I haven't watched any other than that. It's connected to the Rick and Morty universe. That's about it.
Oh yeah. Oh, and that kind of has some basis because what's it called, and closer encounters
The
of
cup.
the closer encounters of the Rick kind, the cup, the mug, and the cup, the notebook, and his hat fly out of one portal, and what's it
It
called,
comes out in
yeah.
the Rick and Morty.
And then
Yeah.
you see a Dipper and Mabel version of Morty, and one of his background characters in one of the episodes also Rick and Morty. So yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say though, like some of the fan base is just fucked up. I'm not holding anything back. It's fucked up.
As any fan
Honestly,
base.
Yeah, but
Are we going
this,
to a fuck up theory right now?
no, it's not a theory. It's a fucking ship. It's a ship.
Are you talking about the incest stuff?
Yeah, Pinecest. That's what they call it. Just what the
Oh,
fuck
no.
is wrong with you guys? They're 12. They're 12-year-olds. So that's terrible in and of itself. And their siblings.
Who
So
are they picking?
who else are they picking? That's Pinecest,
Oh, no, Mabel
Dipper and Mabel.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I don't roll that way. So
No
I
one
never
does.
had
Well, no, it's
No.
like it's like shipping's fine. It's just the fact that they make it all like more than that.
fan fiction.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they make it like
They have fucking
naughty,
fan
I
fiction.
guess you
They
could
have,
say. Yeah.
No, they have fan fiction. They have
I'm
pictures.
glad
They have
I'm-
fucking animation about that shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going
I
through your
don't know what
mind
kind
about
of
doing that?
pornography has been exposed to you guys, but I'm glad I've never seen that.
No,
No, it's not
no.
even-
It's just like within like the YouTube videos where a guy will talk about it. Is how
Exactly.
we find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm not outright looking for this type of shit because I don't want
I mean,
to be
maybe
part
if
of this
Gravity
shit.
Falls was in Alabama
Exactly, that's why.
or
Like,
Florida,
I will say the biggest
it was a
meme though.
joke,
I feel
so
like
yeah.
someone. Oh, sorry.
no, I'm saying like, yeah, if it was a joke, like fucking make it Alabama type shit, but no, this takes place in fucking Oregon. They're from fucking California. There's no joke of incest that's needed there. So,
Also,
like,
it'd be
what
kind of
the
weird
fuck?
because Alex Hirsch is Mabel. Like he's supposed to be Dipper, and then like the Mabel's supposed to be the sister, so that makes it even like double weird because it's like based off of real people.
Exactly. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with some people in fan communities? It's like
What-
it's kind of why me and some other people I know don't fully indulge in the whole fandom. Like we have certain limits, and yeah, sometimes it hinders our enjoyment of the show. But we know that if we ever go full fan out, we'll just fucking regret it immediately and not go back to what we like.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is this is like a big meme thing that's like was really popular for how weird it was and kind of awful it was, and that some people who I might watch this will know. It's something called Dipper Goes to Taco Bell.
No,
And so,
no.
oh, you remember? Yeah, it's like
Stop.
so weird.
Stop.
I have not invested this much
Don't.
into
You
the
don't
show,
want it.
so I'm
Don't
glad
do
I
it.
never did.
Do not do it. I beg you to God, don't do it. I will pay you literally to not do it.
No, I'm saying some people have probably already watched or read it. And
No, that's why I'm
saying,
telling
like,
this. I'm telling this to Eddie specifically. I will
yeah.
literally. If you end up wanting to look at Dipper Taco Bell, I will literally pay you $10 to say fuck off, take this shit, and get the fuck out, and don't do that. Like, you will instantly regret it. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. You will instantly regret it. Like, just stop. Don't. So yeah, that's the fandom. That's what happens when when you become a fan of something. You
I mean,
run the
I mean,
risk.
it's good stuff,
depends
too.
what kind of fandom.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like there's good stuff in fandoms, but you also run the risk of the complete hot shit garbage that you could run into.
It's funny that we talk about this during the Gravity Falls videos, but we never talked about it. We were talking about Sonic during the Sonic movie.
I mean, that time we were just starting
Oh,
out, so
no.
maybe if we do a redux of that video, we're gonna get into that too. Same thing.
Sonic
With,
sequel.
same thing with the Steven Universe videos I have out there. If I want to do a redux, I'm probably gonna talk about the fan community too.
Oh god, that would be a can of worms, especially.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I'm kind of hesitant to do a redux of those videos. So yeah, that's going on. So yeah, anything else you guys want to mention?
I mean, the ending was good. They take waddles. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, little Ford was about to shoot that bus driver for not letting him take waddles. So yeah,
Yeah, that bus driver was like, okay. I kind of want to see what the parents like. My only issue is like the parents were never like introduced physically. Like maybe the baby in the flashbacks. That was maybe the one of like the parents or the mom. I don't know. Because
no, that was more so the grandparent, something like that. Because they stated specifically like, yeah, they're not Stan's their Grunkle, so not really grandparents. Same thing with Ford, but there's a third kid that they had. It's called Shermie, and Stan says to Ford, they're Shermie's grandkids. So yeah,
Oh.
so either that baby is Shermie, or that could be different Mabel's one of their parents, something like that. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So yeah. Plus, also
yeah,
the
other than
the
that-
parents weren't really needed in the series at all. So the show works without them. Didn't really need the parents in a sense. That would have been just been like, kind.
I would have been happy if they just like would have shown a small clip of them getting home. Like, let's say you know how that during the credit scene, there's
Mhm.
always the
I mean, yeah,
what's
they,
it called?
I mean, they did show the whole sign that says "Welcome back to California." Then they showed the last picture was Mabel and Dipper were sleeping on the bus as the bus stopped in California, everything like that. So there's that. Just the fact that they didn't show the parents. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say like it would have been a waste to have their parents introduced for nothing, but
I don't want their
it
parents'
works,
face.
yeah.
I'm looking cool like them. Like you can see like a silhouette of them.
So you wanted
in
to be like the
background picking up
Peanuts?
their kids.
No.
Kind of, yeah. Like not them speaking, but like them like running up to their parents, and you just hear one of the parents say, "How was your summer?" And
oh, so you
and
mean
that's
like
how
cow
it
and
cuts
chicken,
off.
where just see the legs and nothing else up top.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, like the Peanuts also.
Yeah. Well, it's more so cow and chicken. I guess people are gonna remember that for, because they went to great lengths to show like yeah they have no upper body in that show.
Wait, do people even remember Cow and Chicken? I think it came out like 25 years ago.
Even so,
I
like
didn't even know the song. Cow, dun, 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 chicken.
I was always about Angry Beavers if we're talking about like the really old
I never
stuff.
seen Angry Beavers.
I was more of I Am Weasel type thing.
Oh, that was a decent one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
well, Angry Beavers. This would be on the like if we ever talk about it, which is never, so I'll bring it up now. It's I always like the ending of how they banned that episode from airing because it was like they were basically complaining about Nickelodeon canceling them or something, and because of that, like they have the audio, but Nickelodeon's like you can't show this.
Yeah, kind of like the whole Ren and Stimpy adult cartoon
Yeah.
type thing.
Oh
Makes
man,
sense.
don't you talk bad about Angry
I'm not-
Beavers
I'm not-
like that.
I'm not talking bad about that. I'm just making a little comparison. That's it. I know how much you like the Angry Beavers.
No, not even
That's
that.
amazing.
It's that and Ren and Stimpy's is like really bad, right?
No,
Where
that's
it's
why.
like-
That's why too. Like I never got into Ren and Stimpy as a kid. Like never in my life. I never actually liked the characters. I never liked the show. The animation was probably decent at best, but no.
Like what I mean more so is like you could talk about Teen Titans Go, and if you compare it to like the adult party cartoon specifically, I'd still be like, well, you're insulting Teen Titans Go too much, and I don't even like Teen Titans Go.
No, that's what I'm just saying. Like, it's like how in the adult thing, like Nickelodeon cancels Ren and Stimpy for being too adult, and so they had to make their own like little hot mess of a shit fuck show, Ren and Stimpy adult type thing.
Yeah, but this is more like the corporate side, where that's more just like, okay, you guys are going to like, was it like crazy when it comes to like the sexual shit?
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anyways, anything else you guys want to bring up about this?
That's right. Now that's kind of all I had to say.
What is he making now? Has he even made anything? I thought he was
said-
gonna work on something.
Yeah, he said he had a show running for Fox. I don't know if it's released yet or anything about the show. He could still be working on it. He could not. He could have just dropped the whole thing in itself. At this point, he still has. My bad. He still has Disney money. So
He's still
in
got the
one
Disney
second,
money.
yeah.
I feel like he should just leave Gravity Falls how it is.
Definitely, but it's like, what is he making? Right? It's been like
I
5
think-
years.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think he's just taking his time more. Like he knows, like he probably knows that he can't make anything like as high up as Gravity Falls in a sense. But
That's kind of
He's
the
gonna
issue
try,
when you make
yeah.
something so good, it's hard to like one up it.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all we gotta say. But I hope that he's gonna make something more and something like that. But if that's all we're gonna say, thank you guys for joining us in this video. Once again, if you guys liked it, great. If you guys have comments, you already do. Criticisms, again, I don't really give a fuck if you have criticisms. Say them, don't say them. Keep them to yourself. As always, everything's gonna be in the description: Twitch, Discord, and Insta, along with Eddie's TikTok. Anything else he wants to share, and anything else you guys want to add?
The one thing I say is that I really hope he doesn't get Toriyama, where all he does is like after his most famous show is kind of just rest his laurels and then never makes anything successful afterwards. So
That too.
that's about it. But yeah, I guess bye. See you on the next
Yeah.
video.
All right, bye guys. Thank you guys for coming.
See ya.
Bye.